Live from Camp Briteside in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. Camp Briteside, located at 8701 Rural Route 2338 or Williams Drive in Georgetown, Texas, is the host of this year's show. And now, here's the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon.
Good evening, everybody. Ooh, that's loud. Is that loud out there? Can you all hear it?
That volume up.
All right, welcome. We'll get it right here in a minute. The first Eagle Nation Coaches Show live here at Camp Briteside, and what a beautiful location this is. Thanks so much to the Strip Matters and so many Cody Hurt and somebody that made this possible to come out here. What a beautiful venue. We're in the shade. We've got some breeze coming through tonight. The fans are available. But we have tonight's first on-site Coaches Show live here at Camp Briteside. Kelly Duvall and Wally Harmon. And it's always fun to come in for the first Coaches Show when you come in off a win, especially a 54-14 win over Victoria East. But talk about, Kelly, we can sit here and talk about football, and we'll talk about it for a while. But talk about all sports on the campus of Georgetown. Last night, Coach Griffin and Miss Griffin were out for the start of a beautiful volleyball match. Georgetown volleyball won against Liberty Hill last night, and it was a beautiful five-match set. It was back and forth. Georgetown rallying in the fourth set to send it to set 5, and they win it over Liberty Hill, and that's a big one. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in the state, and now Georgetown will take that upper hand and a big win as they get ready to go into district play on next weekend. So congrats to the Lady Eagles, the volleyball team, and Coach Richardson. They are 23-6 on the year, and they have played some top talent. They played the number 1 team in the nation back last week in the Prestonwood Christian Academy team that went undefeated, didn't lose a set in that tournament, beat Dripping Springs, who was undefeated, the 6A number 1 team in the state. So some good experience for the Lady Eagles. It'll be fun to watch their season as it plays out as district starts in 2 weeks for the Lady Eagles. But week 1 was a good one for Georgetown. Kelly, I don't think I've been to a football game and called a football game that 2 minutes and 12 seconds in, we have a 23-point lead getting ready to go for to make it 30-0 before we even get into the 8-minute mark of quarter number 1. Things went right. It looked kind of crazy at 3rd and 21 on our first series, and then all of a sudden Xavier Warren said, relax, I got it. Takes it to the house for the touchdown, and then it just started to roll for Georgetown. You can't ask for a better start.
Yeah, it was a great start. Great football game. So excited that football season is back. Glad to be here at Camp Briteside. We have a huge crowd with us tonight. Thank you, Eagle Nation, for showing up. And how about a hand for Camp Briteside and all the staff here helping us out. Great showing out here tonight. Part of it may be because great showing on Friday night.
It was, and I tell you what, a good win against Victoria East. Now we go to week 2. The Belton Tigers on the road at Belton, traditionally a good team and tough to beat at home. They come off a tough loss in week 1 to the Hendrickson Hawks, 12-0. And so it'll be interesting to see how Georgetown goes after that. A totally different look that you'll see out of the Belton Tigers there in Belton on Friday night. Come join us live there. Belton ISD Stadium is what they're trying to transition to because they share it just like Birkelback Field. And so Belton ISD Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff on Friday night, and so come join us there.
Had to check.
Had to remember all these game times between volleyball and the baseball, and you'll change your schedules every year. It's all good. 7 o'clock Friday night. Come join us. You can't. We'll be live on the SHN Sports Network there at Belton to bring you the call and all the action as the Eagles go for a 2-0 start against the Belton Tigers. Then week 3, Copper Cove will come back into to Birkelback Field, and then we'll have a week off, and then it begins the new district. And so a lot of good things to go and talk about as the season gets started, but one and most importantly is the performance that this team put on Friday night. Anytime you can go to halftime, I believe it was 47-0, and come back out and control the ball game. and win it 54-14 to go to 1-0. You got to like some things. Coach talked about there's things to improve, and things for this team to work on, and a good week for that. And we'll get to talk to Coach Griffin here in just a second about that. But you got to like the positivities that come out of that with a lot of unknowns coming into it, a lot of new faces to take, but a lot of leadership coming back. And the defense showed that with a new system under Coach Laux. Coach Flores, the new offensive coordinator, a new system with a new quarterback and new running back there in Jet Walker. And so a lot of changes to go with the returning starters, but some good things.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good things. We talked about it on the broadcast as halftime was getting close. He had a comfortable lead, things to coach up, and I'm guessing there was some coaching going on in that locker room at the halftime, and we can verify that whenever Coach comes out here. But it's nice to have a situation like this in your first game. You're replacing a lot of faces from last year, letting guys get their feet under them, get comfortable on that field. You jump out to a big lead like that, and that gives you the opportunity to relax and work on the fundamentals and work on the game. And the details that the coaches and the players are working out through this week didn't affect you much just because of the score that was there. So you got an opportunity to relax a little bit and play your game, and that game was a tail-kicking.
54-14. That's a fair assessment to describe it. And one thing you like is some things that maybe were questions, a lot of work didn't go into special teams, and special teams answered. Cooper Werchin running into a couple of recoveries there on the kickoffs, back-to-back kickoffs that set this offense up. At one point, they had run on their first play. It was an interception, and Georgetown already had 30 points on the board before they got their second offensive possession underway. And so some good things there that came out of unknowns. And with these coaching changes, six new coaches, and we've talked to Coach Griffin about that, and the first time to ever have to hire like that and getting in some great coaches and new additions here at Georgetown.
There was one thing I wanted to talk about as well, Wally. Great crowd showed up Friday night, and they were making a lot of noise at the right times. The press box was shaking in the cool 68 degrees where we were sitting, struggling. But great crowd showed up, and I know the players and coaches and everybody appreciates that.
And one thing we've talked to some of the players before is that when their fellow students come out and show out for them, and a great outpouring for the football team on Friday night. The student section was going and making noise, but then they continued. Last night I saw a lot of these football players in the gymnasium last night to support the Lady Eagle volleyball team. And so you see that student interaction to support each other on their own respective playing fields. And it's fun to watch, to see the support that they get from their classmates plus the community as they come together. And so this week on the road, the Eagles will take on the Belton Tigers. So let's take a quick timeout.
Before we take a timeout, I want to let folks know if you're going to be watching the broadcast on Fridays at halftime, we show the band's performance at halftime because those kids work really hard. This season, we are going to also have small clips to highlight our training staff. I interviewed H and Vanessa today, and that's going to be the precursor for it. And then next week we're going to have the students on there and talk to them a little bit and let them know we appreciate what they do for all the athletes at Georgetown and give folks an idea of all the work that goes into the trainer program at GHS. So I'm excited about that. Had a good conversation with Chad Hennessy and Vanessa Rideau today, so excited for folks to see that. So stay tuned at halftime.
So Vanessa Rideau, she earns her pay and maybe deserves a pay raise after having to take care of H at the Stony Point scrimmage there.
I promised him I wouldn't mention it. I did not.
I'll mention it all year long. It's funny how hard that training staff works, though, to take care of these student athletes. And it's funny at times then they forget about themselves because of the work that they're putting in. And H fell victim to that, but has owned it and has been the brunt of a lot of jokes of that, but he continues to come out and do what's best for these kids and keep them safe and prepared. And so that'll be fun to be a part of, to highlight another area within the school that these kids continue to support each other each and every week. So we'll take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll get head coach Chuck Griffin up here with us and talk more things Eagle football live here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show from Camp Briteside.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Briteside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
Back here live at Camp Briteside, and we're joined now by head coach Chuck Griffin. And well, the front table will become the testing. We're sorry. We got to play with the speaker to figure out the volumes to make sure everyone can hear. Something we can do, if you give us your feedback, if we can move it further out and turn it, then we'll do that. But we've gone to a bigger speaker to make it better quality, a little bit easier to hear. So
yeah, Wally, when the sun starts setting earlier, they're going to put us out on the stage. So where
fun.
Wally was meant to be.
Yeah, something like that. Coach Griffin joins us now. Coach, first and foremost, congrats. 1-0. We talk about that over and over every year. It seems to be a motto. You just want to take care of the business right then. And what a job by this team. 54-14, you get the win. Things to work on, like you said. But overall, talk about the performance of your team on Friday night.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited about our kids and how well they performed. And you go out. I told them and told our coaches, it's hard to score 54 points against a strong North wind. So to be able to go out and do that against another opponent is really impressive. Just proud of them for the way they there were some things that jumped up in the game, the kickoffs, the ball on the back, and all those kind of things, and our kids were prepared and executed, and that's what you like to see. It's good to see our kids go out, and we made some first game mistakes. We had some bad snaps. We had some missed tackles. We had some of those things, but because of the first few minutes of the game, we could just go and play and worry about that. So we've got things to work on this week, but, man, excited about them and how well they performed and look forward to the season.
Coach, I talked to several people that watched the game live and also watched on YouTube, and one of the things they said was, man, the ball sure was bouncing Georgetown's way. And you and I have talked about it before. Not a big fan of calling anything luck. Yeah. They say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Yeah. And your boys took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. We talk about that. There's really no such thing as luck. It's you just prepare when the opportunity arises, when it happens. And you think about Cooper Wirtchen, like we talk about that. We walk through that in our first day of special teams. We talk about that at the meetings. He's flying down the field, doing his job, and the spot, the ball bounces up, and he's ready to catch it and he knows exactly what to do with it. So that's great preparedness on his part and being ready, and same thing as far as the whole rest of the game goes.
How surprised was he when it happened twice?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was planning something special when it happened a third time, like after that point. So
yeah. We talk about things like that. We mentioned some new players at new spots. We have several returning starters on the defense, on the offense. But then you come in with new faces in different places, a new quarterback battle to talk about it, to be prepared for, a new running back room full. You had an Andrew Petter for 3 years, now 3 different names and 3 capable runners at that position. And then you flip to the defensive side, some new names on the defensive front. The linebacking core shored up again. Those names continue to show out in Chance Kelly and Seth Warren and Cole Mitchell. But just different players in different spots. How big has that been for these kids to step up and play into those roles to help this team?
That's what you want them to do. That's kind of what you're preparing for. That's the importance of us having 5 football teams. We got 2 freshman games going on tonight in Belton. And have 2 JV games tomorrow. That's why we do that, so that our kids are ready to step up when it's their opportunity. And so it's great to see that. It's great to see new faces, new guys. That's part of our role, part of our job. It happens every year. And, if it didn't, we'd never let anybody go. We'd keep them all. But, we want that to happen and want kids to have new opportunities. So it's exciting to see.
When you come off a game like that, how long do you let the boys celebrate that game? And what does it take to keep them from getting overconfident for Friday?
We celebrated for about 4 minutes, and on Monday morning, and then we started talking about Belton, So, honestly, you want to enjoy it, you want to enjoy the win, but really, when we come back Monday morning, we kind of hash it out. Here are things we did great. we show them about 5 offensive plays we did really well, and about 3 we did really poorly on, and we do the same thing defensively and the same thing special teams wise, and things we got to fix. And then we talk about the players of the game, and then we jump right into the new week. And we talked a lot this week about having a relentless effort and having that effort that it doesn't matter what the score is. And that's something we can improve on definitely. Like we talked about that at halftime the other night, and we came out, and to be honest, we kind of laid an egg. We went 3 and out on offense. We let them drive down and score, and that's something we can learn from, right? Like we talked about, you play hard no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're 21 points up or 21 points down. You play hard no matter what. You have relentless effort no matter what. And because that's the standard, and that's what we want to get our kids to is playing to a standard, like regardless of the score, you play to the standard, and the results will take care of themselves if you do that.
What's the atmosphere like in the locker room at half when you're up 47-0 in game number 1 to keep them locked in, to not let that happen and to be prepared for the second half?
I mean, we talked about it and go through it, but that's something they have to experience and learn from. They got to do. So, I mean, it's great it happened in the first game. They can experience that. There's the same thing that happens if you come in and you're 21 points down, or, we talked about this week. In 2019, we were 28 points down to Belton at halftime, and being able to come back and win the game. So, like, understanding, like, that really doesn't matter. Like, how well are you going to play on this play? Like, that's what matters. And then the next play, the last one didn't matter. How well are you going to play this play? So that's just something we preach in our program. We talk to our kids about all the time. This
week we switch directions and go north to Belton High School. What do we expect out of the Belton Tigers? A young team, just looking at the classifications of some of the starters, but a well-coached team, and Coach Sniffen and what he prepares there. What do we look for out of the Belton Tigers?
They're going to be good. Coach Sniffen does a good job getting those guys ready. Coach Campbell, their offensive coordinator, I've known him a long time, and those guys are going to be coached really well. They're struggling a little bit. They're a little bit young, and they're trying to find some things out. But basically they're going to try to play keep away. They've got a good running back, 6'4", 220, and they've got a good wide receiver out there, and they're hoping those guys can score 1 touchdown apiece and hold us to 10 points. I mean, that would be their ideal game, and their game plan is they're going to keep the ball. They huddle. They walk to the line of scrimmage. They're slowing the game really down a lot on offense, and then getting ready. They've got all their players on defense, and they're playing pretty good defense. So that's kind of their game plan. Hey, let's try to win this thing 14-10. So for us, the keys are going to be we've got to execute offensively. We can't have 3 and outs because we're not going to get many opportunities. We got to take care of the football. We can't turn it over because we're not going to get many opportunities. And we can't let them steal one on special teams. We got to make sure that we field every ball. We got to make sure that we do a great job tackling. We can't let them steal anything on special teams because that's going to be the game plan, to limit our opportunity to score.
Coach, let folks know about the importance of these pre-district games. I mean, a lot of people kind of take them for granted, I think, but you schedule some tough teams and teams that are going to challenge these kids before we get into district. If you would, let folks know about the importance of these pre-district games.
It's just the opportunity to get us ready and spending this first section of the season of, okay, let's get ourselves ready to go into district play so that we can qualify for the playoffs. And we really just set one goal for the first part of the season, win the district opener. That's it. The rest of it, we just want to continue to prepare every week and get ourselves ready for a long district race. We've got a tough district, we've had since they split 5A. Every team in it is really good. They're all capable of winning every week. So our district's tough, so we've got to play some tough opponents so that we can put ourselves in a position to win when it counts.
Talking about that, the district opponents we have this year, the big switch in the alignments this year, we get rid of A&M Consolidated College Station. We appreciate that. We don't like driving over there as much as anybody else. But then we pick up all the 5A teams out of Leander, along with Eastview, and a clean Chaparral, Lake Belton. How does this district look comparative to what we faced the last 2 years?
I think it's still it's a little top heavy, just like the last one was. But I think it's really top to bottom. It's a pretty even district. All the schools in Lander coach well. They do a great job. We know Lake Belton's going to be good. Clean Chaparral is going to be loaded with athletes. So we know. It's very similar to the district that we're in. It's just a whole lot closer driving to Belton versus College Station.
One last question about this past week's game. Have you ever seen a reception laying on someone's back
No.
with a ball laying on someone's back.
You know, I told the kids, if you're going to talk about luck, all right, that's luck. Like, I don't know how the ball got on his back, but it's there. And, great job of Max of seeing that and being prepared and picking it up and going to score.
I love the sales job to the referees. Like, it didn't touch the ground.
Yeah.
Give me my touchdown.
You know, I talked about that in Booster Club last night, like when we fumble and all our kids start signaling that we had it, like, that's actually something we practice. We practice picking up a fumble and everybody celebrating and signaling that we've got the fumble and running off the field. Like, just leave no doubt in their mind that that's what just happened. So that's part of what we do and part of getting them ready.
I've seen that play from a couple of different angles, and that ball
I still don't know how it got on his back.
That ball didn't touch the ground, but
yeah.
But then you talk about the heads-up play by Max to be ready in between three defenders who were all staying around watching it. And then when he grabbed it, it was like a lunge for it. Like, what just happened? They were in shock. But the headiness of Max to get it and grab it, jumping into the end zone, just kind of fueled that night, how things can continue to go for Georgetown.
Yeah, we talked about it on the broadcast, the importance of playing through the whistle. Because if we stop like they stop, different outcome.
Yep.
54-14, Georgetown won it over Victoria East Titans. That means be prepared next year, because we will go to Victoria East and play in Victoria on that Friday night. There's a couple of hotels there. Nice. We're going to schedule some rooms. Maybe we can get a Booster Club package and get some rooms, because I'm not driving back at 12 at night. So we're going to stay the night and enjoy some breakfast before coming back. But the beauty of it is this year our max travel, I believe, is Lake Belton, or Belton High School, and we'll take that with some Leanders mixed in on the road. To enjoy. But this Friday night, it'll be the Belton Tigers up at Belton ISD Stadium. Come join us. 7 o'clock kickoff there at Belton ISD on the campus of Belton High School. Best of luck. I want to know. That's just to continue. These kids continue to perform. It's funny how it seems like two-a-days have now shrunk. And now all of a sudden the scrimmage is 2 weeks after we start. Now these kids are already at prime condition, ready to go and put on a show like that for everybody at Berkelback on a Friday night. So best of luck this week on the road at Belton High School. We'll take a quick time out. The players of the week that we're going to talk to on defense will be Chance Kelly, and on offense will be Davin Sedgwick. So I'll let them figure out who's coming up first, but we'll bring one of them back here in just a minute and talk Eagle football with the players here on the SHN Sports Network live from Camp Briteside.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Briteside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
Back here live, Camp Briteside, and we're joined now by Davin Sedgwick, number 2, the varsity one of the senior wide receivers here on this Georgetown Eagle team. And first and foremost, outside of a touchdown, outside of catching the ball, the blocking on the outside this past week was so fun for us to watch. You get the running backs coming around, you get your receivers coming around on pass plays. The downfield blocking, it seems like you guys take that to the next level as receivers to do your job, not just to go catch passes or run routes and make people tired. but go out and pick up that block to get your guy further down the road. That was a specialty the other night, Friday night. Talk about that side of it. That's not the wide receiver conversation we all usually talk about, but you guys seem to thrive on that.
Yeah, Coach Key, he hits on that a lot in practice. Every practice he's always talking about outside blocking on the outside. We need it for the screens, and then it's going to open up the pass game. So
this wide receiving core, some new names that we're not used to. Xavier Warren now in the starting spot. We saw him a lot last year, the highlight catches he would using that speed, your speed, and now Espinoza gone, and now we have a Max Muniz in there. He has a couple of touchdowns. A Braylon Westball coming in. Terosian, we got him in there. Reyna, and we can keep going with the names. How much is this wide receiver core come together to be prepared for anything that's being thrown at you guys with the new offense in the sense of Coach Flores and the way he's going to call the games? How much have you guys grown as a group with you and Xavier being those returning starters and bringing in these guys and becoming that tight unit?
Yeah, I mean, we're all on JV. We all had Coach Flo. I mean, we all bond every day. We work out together in the weight room. We're always together in the individual. We're always having fun, so it's pretty easy to go out there and have fun with our boys.
As you guys go, how much is there a competition between you guys when the routes are run, where the ball ends up, and how is it I want that next ball, or is it there's an excitement for whoever gets it and takes it in for the touchdown? And how much do you guys compete within yourselves to push each other to be the best you can be, but yet at the same time to I'm going to get that score. I want to put that ball into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean we love to push each other. We love to have that competition, but at the end of the day, when your brother scores, You're happy about that.
How good was it to get on the field against somebody else, stop hitting your brothers that you play with, and start hitting somebody else? How fun was that?
It was great. I was looking forward to it all week.
Any challenges that they threw at you that kind of surprised you, or what'd you think about the overall defense? That
I mean, I was going into it with the mindset just have fun, go out there, do my best, and that's what I did, and that's pretty much what happened.
As one of the returning starters on this team in your senior year, what are you looking forward to the most in this senior season as your time comes here at Georgetown in the final season to wear the G? What's going through your mind? How much are you enjoying this, and what's the goals for yourself?
My goal is I want to have a 10-plus touchdown season, and then I want to make it to at least the third round, but I know we can make it farther if we really try. So,
what with your role kind of changing a little bit? I mean, you had some leadership role last year, but this year it really falls on guys like you and some of the other seniors that are there. How has that changed your approach this year?
I mean, when I had guys like Yvonne, Mason, Goggins, like from last year, they showed me how to lead and be a leader. So just taking bits and pieces from what they taught me and using that for this year.
Would you describe yourself as a vocal leader or a lead by example or a combination?
Nah, I'd be a lead by example. I'm trying to get more vocal, but I'd be a lead by example.
Who's the vocal leader of the offense out on the field?
Offense would probably be Jake Mylock.
Mylock making some noise, a senior tight end that's been around in his third season here on the varsity. Had a busy summer this year. This summer in your final summer before your senior year, a lot of camps you went to. What's the future and the goals for Davin as he moves when you look past high school? What's the goals and what direction are you looking right now?
Try to get a couple more offers. I have Midwestern State right now, so right now that's the plan as of right now.
So I asked this question to some players last year. I'm always curious. When you're in practice, who's your least favorite to line up against whenever the hitting's going? Or can you smoke them all?
I can't smoke them all.
I dare you.
But I don't have a least favorite. I like lining up against all of them because it's all good competition with all our corners. So
who hits the hardest?
Hits the hardest? It'd probably be Seth.
We've heard that name before. As you guys on the offensive side, you working each week against your own defense. How much do you guys as a receiving corps push the defensive backfield and push them to be better, to be prepared on their Friday night side as much as they push you guys?
Yeah, in practice there's a lot of back and forth, DBs versus corners. It gets heated in practice sometimes, but it's all good love and competition.
Come Friday night, it's excitement.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to hit each other, and you can cheer each other on to hit the next player. At school, we did this last year in baseball, and I enjoyed this. Take out lunch, recess, and any off periods. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite class in school? What's your favorite subject?
Probably be my economic class right now.
If we don't find you on the football field, we don't find you in the locker room, where do we find Devin Sedgwick having fun and just relaxing?
Somewhere, hopefully, running my own business or something like that.
Wow.
That's why he likes the economics class.
Exactly. Camp Briteside is hiring. Talk to Joe Stripmatter back here, all the heads of the store here at Camp Briteside. But that's awesome. In the future, Midwestern State, great school up in Wichita Falls. And so as the season progresses, how much fun two-a-days started. You put the pads on. How much fun is it now that the season's going? Are you guys able to lock into a different mode and now it's game time and the focus is 100% of the time? Or do you guys come in and out of that and just continue to work?
I mean, we always try to get our focus 100% all day at practice, but, there's some days, but we just keep working. Hopefully by the end, when playoffs come, we're 100% locked and ready to go.
I'll be in Wichita Falls in a couple of weeks.
We will not.
For work.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we will not. We're not traveling to Wichita Falls
no.
This year.
Thankfully.
Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Shout out my mom and dad.
Devin Sedgwick, your senior wide receiver, number 2 on the roster. We'll take a quick time out. We come back. It'll be Chance Kelly joining us from the defensive side of the ball here at the Camp Briteside, host of your Eagle Nation Coaches Show.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Briteside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
And we're back here live, Camp Briteside, number 6. Got to keep these number changes straight. Chance Kelly joins us now, one of the linebackers here on the Georgetown Eagle team. Chance, thanks for taking some time joining us tonight. Hopefully we got your dinner down. We're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, a big first week. You guys got that opportunity. Offensive guys like to make people avoid them, not get tackled. You guys like to hit and demolish people. How much fun was Friday night? Talk about that as this linebacking core. A lot of experience back there, a lot of leadership between you and Seth. And what do you guys look for? And Cole, don't forget Cole there. But you guys, as you got to hit another team, how much fun was Friday night, and how ready are you guys now as this season is underway to get to each Friday night and compete?
Well, to be honest, it took us a while to get on the field at first. We were on the sideline pretty antsy and waiting to take the field. Coach Laux had to tell that guy, hey, can you catch the ball so we can go play defense? We were ready to go. But, once we got out there, we did our thing, and we threw a lot of new stuff that we didn't show in the scrimmage, which was fun to do. And it was a different offense. We didn't see that kind of offense from our guys, so it was a different look, but it was fun to hit somebody else other than those jokers over there.
You come into your senior year with Coach Laux, the new DC that has taken over after Coach Nicky moved on. How much fun has it been? How big of a challenge has it been to learn this new scheme, this new defensive setup from Coach Laux in the senior year for you?
Well, he's a really smart guy, and he's a really great coach. So there's been a lot of stuff that we've installed, and as a middle linebacker, you have to set everybody up and call the play and relay everything. So it's been a lot on my shoulders, but I feel like I've been dealing with it pretty well, and I watch a lot of film, and I talk with Coach Laux a lot during my lunches and stuff, so I feel like I can get it down and lead everybody where they need to go.
How hard has that transition been, switching defenses? I mean, it's a different look, not entirely different, but a different look, different calls. How difficult's that been?
I mean, it's been pretty hard. We've had a lot of new fronts put in, and I'm doing a lot more things that I wouldn't doing normally last year, but it's a lot more fun to do as well. But it's been a challenge for sure.
Stepping into that leadership role as the middle linebacker, getting the calls out, getting people in position. How much fun are you having in that role, and how much fun do you as a linebacking core? You guys seem to feed off each other. You guys fly all over the field. How much fun is that, and how much you enjoying that new leadership role and that having the control out there?
I mean, I've been waiting a really long time to kind of be in this leadership role, and me and Seth and Cole, we do have a blast out there together, and I think we're probably one of the best linebacker corps in this district, and I think we show it day in and day out. And just by the way we practice and stuff, and Coach Colson gives us what we need to do to compete every day. And I mean, I think we kind of we benefit off of each other in our different roles as linebackers. So I think we're a good mix.
When you compare the offense that you're facing in practice, and then you got on the field this week against Victoria East, how has that offense that you face with the speed that they have, the size on that line that Georgetown has, how different was it facing that Victoria East team that may not had some of the athletes that you guys have?
It was a little different, but when we go good on good in practice and stuff, that's like that's the closest you can get to game speed. So I feel like we were pretty prepared, but going against our offense is definitely a big challenge, and we welcome that challenge, though, as well, and we like to get after them.
How big of – you talked about the first few series. You guys didn't even get a play on the field for the first couple minutes there, and this offense kept working. How big of cheerleaders do you all become at that point that your offense is taking that and making the most of it to give you guys a big lead to then continue to dominate once you do get on the field?
Oh, we were pretty excited to take the field with a comfortable lead and stuff, but you can't ever get too comfortable. You got to always have a foot on the throat and – pedal to the metal, but I mean, I think we did a pretty good job of staying focused and not letting up.
There were some pretty big hits out there on that field on Friday night. I know their quarterback woke up sore on Saturday.
Yeah.
Talk about y'all's determination to attack the ball and get hats to the ball, because Coach loves that.
Yeah, so, I mean, 9-5-90 wasn't just a Coach Nicky thing. It's been a Georgetown thing for many years, so that plays a big role in everybody flying to the ball and 9 hats within 5 yards of the ball. And, I mean, like Coach Griffin pointed on, is relentless effort. You know, we might not have the biggest, we might not have the fastest guys, but if you can play with relentless effort, you'll be there to make a play when it matters most.
How hard was it for you guys to stay focused coming out of halftime? 47-0 lead, first game of the season. Sometimes there's got to be thoughts creeping in like, man, this is too easy. We've got this in the bag. How do you guys stay focused on that and not let that become anything that haunts you on the backside, especially once you get into district with better teams?
I feel like you can't come out sluggish after a halftime. We kind of did tackling-wise, but I think we've heard it all week that you can't let up no matter what point of the game it is or no matter what the scoreboard says. So I think if you can just play 100% with relentless effort, you'll be there whenever it matters most and when you need to make a play.
This senior year for you, what's the goals for Chance Kelly? You become one of the leaders. Now what's the goals from here?
I got a little list down. I want to get 3 turnovers, 5 sacks, and over 80 tackles this year.
I like it. I like it.
Seth said those are weak numbers. I just heard him. Nah. Great. Now, a sack the other night against the quarterback Helms. You get up, and there's a celebration that occurred. Talk about that celebration.
I'm hungry for more, and I want to keep getting back there, and I love the new stunts we got on, and I'm excited to keep doing those throughout the season. So
I got to rat Dave out because when y'all laid that quarterback out and you stood up, was rubbing the belly, Dave was on the sideline. I started laughing. He didn't know the quarterback was still on the ground. So on the broadcast, it sounded like he was laughing that the quarterback may have been murdered on that field, and we gave him a hard time about it. But he wasn't laughing about that. He was laughing at you.
Luckily, it was very clear as you came up, the belly rub. Dave clarified that for us. But it's a senior year for you. Away from football, the senior year as a whole, wearing this G logo, this uniform, and the legacy that Chance Kelly can leave on this team and on this locker room. What's the mindset in your senior year? What's the goals for the year outside of just football, but as a whole?
I want to be remembered as like a good vocal leader and my ability to lead by example. I want the younger guys to look up to me and maybe use me as an example next year and seasons to go on. And I think this team can go very far as a whole, and I think we need to lean on each other and count on this leadership council and the younger guys. We have a perfect mix to go really far this year.
What do you sorry.
No, you're good.
What are you looking for out of Belton Friday night?
Well, they run the ball a lot, and they're a physical team and they're well coached. So we have to be prepared for that in the film room, and I think we'll have some good calls to get after that offense.
Do middle linebackers like when they run the ball?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little. What is the future plans for Chance Kelly after high school? What are the goals and plans you've made for yourself or trying to make?
I'm still wondering where I'm going to go to college. I'm looking around right now, and I want to do something along the lines of business. I've done the business pathway at the high school, and that's a big interest of mine.
If we don't find you at the football field, in the locker room, where do we find Chance Kelly relaxing and enjoying life?
Probably on a golf course somewhere, and
yeah.
on my couch watching some football. So those are the two
yeah.
big things.
And it's a perfect time of year for that right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I was anchored all weekend with football starting up this weekend with the NFL kicking off. Golf course, favorite course around the area?
I love Terra Vista.
It's a fun course.
Oh, yeah.
A little challenge, but yet fun out there to enjoy.
Next time you're out there, see if you can find any of the dozens of golf balls I've lost.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of recess, nap time, and lunch.
Do y'all have recess?
Hey,
Not anymore.
some of them will try to use it.
Yeah.
So they have an off period. It's like a recess. What's your favorite subject this year that you're taking in your senior year?
Astronomy with Mr. Anderson. He's a real good teacher.
Wow, astronomy. Good answer. The baseball answers were not this good last year. I'm just saying. It was all like the coach's class. It was easy. Astronomy is a great class. Any shout-outs before we let Chance go?
Shout out Jack Covan. Shout out my mom. Shout out Joe and Death Row D.
Chance Kelly, number 6, senior linebacker here on the Georgetown Eagles. A quick timeout. We'll be right back here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from Camp Briteside.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Briteside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
Back here live, Camp Briteside. Kelly, introduce our guest.
Folks, please welcome to the microphone one of the owners, the owner?
One of them.
One of the owners of beautiful Camp Briteside and a sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting's presentations of Georgetown football, Mr. Cody Hurt.
How are you guys? Thank y'all for having us on the show.
Hey,
Thanks
Cody,
for being here.
Thanks for having us, man. This is fantastic. I came by a couple of weeks ago to snap some photos, and you showed me around a little bit, and I could not wait for it to open. I had the smash burger tonight. Fantastic.
Oh, it's incredible. Our chef, what he puts out of this kitchen is insane. I've gained probably 15 pounds in the 4 or 5 days we've been open, but hey, it is what it is.
Who is the chef?
Chris Schloss, awesome guy that we actually just found. Timing wise, it was a God thing.
Yeah.
You know, he was looking for something. We were looking for the right guy. He stepped in, created this amazing menu, and the coolest thing about it is all the chefs that we've had. You know, it's been Chris, or it's been this, or he came in, and just his presence, he was chef. There was just something different about him.
Yeah.
You know, and he continues every day. He's chef, and that's the respect that we all give him.
So where did Camp Briteside come from?
So great question. So.
That's my only one.
Yeah. So it's kind of a long story, but the naming process started about 3 years ago whenever we found this place. And we started looking. Ronald Reagan is over here. So maybe have a little nod of the hat to Ronald Reagan. So we started looking up stuff, and we were like, okay, so his nickname was the Dutch. So let's call it Dutch. And then we started playing with some other stuff, and it was out in the country. We're like, oh, maybe camping, you know, something with camping. Camp Dutch, kept this. And as we were researching more Ronald Reagan stuff, we came across this one that was called The Last Outpost. It was a movie that he was in.
Yep.
And then we were like, that's the name, The Last Outpost. It's fantastic. And as we were looking at all of this stuff, we were also creating Goldberger Diner. Okay, and Goldberger Diner has nothing to do with the name Golden Rule. It has to do with Harry Gold.
And
Okay.
Gold's department store.
That's right.
Yep.
And we wanted to tip our hat and pay homage to people that came before all of us that created a community of service, of love, of giving. And so instead of looking at somebody that was so great for our country, we wanted to look at somebody that was so great for our community. And about that time, we saw something called Camp Briteside at Rock,
Yep.
right on Center for Kids.
Wonderful organization. Done a lot with them.
And that honors the Brightwell family. And as you look at what the Brightwells have done for this community, it was another tip of the hat.
Yeah.
So I called up Kara and everybody over at Rock, and I said, hey, here's our idea, here's our thoughts, here's what we'd like to do. We'd love to name it Camp Brightside, but we want it to kind of honor you guys, bring awareness more to what you guys are doing, and then tip our hat at the Brightwell family. And they absolutely loved the idea. So we're going to have fundraisers and do some fun stuff out here with them.
There's not much of a better family that you could recognize for the good work they did in Georgetown.
For sure.
Unfortunately, last couple of years we lost both of them, but just phenomenal people that have left a legacy in Georgetown that may never be matched. And Barbara Brightwell was just a ray of sunshine, and her husband was just a phenomenal, phenomenal man. And I was honored to meet them. So I appreciate you sharing the story, because I love the Brightwell family.
Yeah. No, that was important to us. And for us, this is about connecting through disconnecting. And what we wanted kids to run and play, just like you see right here, what's going on. We wanted kids to have fun, but we also wanted parents to be involved. We wanted people to put down their phones and just be active. Get back out in the wilderness. We have cows that come up every single night. As long as you don't run up to them, they'll let you pet them on the head. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
I think the football players are running plays they didn't get to run Friday night. So, no injuries.
Let's go back to you, and you said as one of the owners, this ownership group that has put together so many locations here in Georgetown, be it the Golden Rule, be it Mesquite Creek Outfitters, be it River and Ranch Provisions, be it the Golden Burger, be it the Camp Brightside. We could go on and on. The trend over the last 3 years for us has been coaches shows at these locations. You guys, as an ownership group, continue to give back to these student athletes for both schools. We've seen shows for both schools at different locations. Talk about that and you guys' desire to continue to feed back into the students and the both schools here in the Georgetown area.
Well, first and foremost, this community is great because of the people that are sitting right here, and we want to just do everything that we can to kind of complement that. And as you look around, you'll see a lot of the athletes also work here too. There's 2 football players working tonight, at least 2, maybe even 3. And we want their first work experience to be super positive. We want them to understand what it looks like to have a great work environment. We want to make sure that they understand what it's like to be heard. Some of the biggest decision makers for us are the girls up front, the hostesses, and they can be 15 years old, and they can say, hey, we see people coming in and they don't understand this, or how about we change this? And for us, they are the eyes and the ears. And I think it's so important to not only listen to what they're saying, but then also change policy and procedure based off of what they're seeing. And then I think that kind of builds in them as well.
Cody, not only are you a businessman here in Georgetown and around, but you are a part of a tremendous nonprofit organization helping our veterans. Talk about that program.
Yeah.
And a raffle going on right now, a big raffle going on.
That is correct, yes. So it's called Veteran Outdoors. We actually started Veteran Outdoors back in November of 2007. Since then, we've taken 7,685 or 86 veterans on different trips around the world. It's 100% money in, money back out kind of thing. Primarily, it's been run with 5 volunteers that entire time.
Wow.
And, I'll tell you the very first trip I ever went on, my brother-in-law was in Iraq back in 2006, and he had a couple of buddies that got hurt pretty bad. And he said, Cody, I want to motivate these guys by offering them a hunting trip as soon as they get well. Can you help me? And I was like, sure. At that time, I was selling aircraft, and I thought it was pretty cool because I was doing something cool like that. Well, he calls me up, and I was like, you know what? I really don't have time for this, but I'll come and help. And so I show up, and I start unloading my stuff, and this guy walks up, and he says, hey, need a hand with your baggage? It's like, sure. Well, he hands me his prosthetic arm. He goes, hope that helps. And I'm standing there holding a prosthetic arm. But it was sitting around a fire that night, and there's a 21-year-old kid next to me, and he's lost both of his legs. And he is so excited about this trip and finding out how he's going to be able to hunt and what else he's going to be able to do differently on his prosthetics. and his outlook on life was so amazingly positive. I mean, this kid was in Iraq for 9 days, hit an IED in his truck, blew off both of his legs. He drug himself and his passenger out, saved that guy.
Wow.
And his outlook was so positive, like I said. And here I am. I think I'm super important because I'm a salesperson used to selling airplanes. And it was like my mom slapped me in my face and said, I did not raise you to be that kid. And I saw not only what it did like for him mentally, physically, and spiritually, the healing, but also what it did for me and the others around me. And I said, guys, we got to start doing this more and more. And it's been the most amazing thing we've ever done. We actually have, so the wiffle ball field is named after one of those veterans.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
We had one in particular that he became family to us. And his kid, or our kids, were pretty much like his siblings as well. And he moved here because we held him accountable. You know, he had some demons, and instead of telling him how great he was all the time, we said, hey, you're a dad. Let's be a better dad. Let's be a better husband. Let's be a better citizen. And he needed that in his life. And he had a demon that would pop up every once in a while. And he passed away about a year ago. And very hard on us. But the wiffle ball field is named after him, so it's Big Z Field, named after Chris Biggs.
Well, we appreciate not only what you've done in this community, but what you do for our veterans. Wally being a veteran, we've got veterans in the crowd tonight, so we appreciate that and all that you do to help us and to help this community, Cody.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, I grew up in a very small community, and without people helping each other, we couldn't have done it. You know, we were at each other's birthdays and funerals and quinceañeras, and we harvest crops together. You know, and so. That community spirit was you know, instilled in us at a very early age, and I absolutely love this community. It's home for me. I've been here since '03. All of my family from West Texas has moved here except my sister, and she'll be moving here soon. You know, all our nephews. Good. One is a firefighter here in Georgetown. He moved from West Texas to be a firefighter here.
One of our second responders.
And then the other two work with us. One is going to school to be a welder, and my other nephew works with us as our beverage director of all of our places.
So when you guys get a chance, reach out and thank Cody and the ownership team here at Camp Briteside, at the Golden Rule, at Mesquite Creek. They do so much to give back to the student athletes. I mean, you just keep River and Ranch. We can keep going on and on. But they continuously want to be involved to do things to support these student athletes. And so we appreciate you. We appreciate the opportunity. We love it. This is going to be fun to be out here. And so now we just need to go get Jordan on board and bring the baseball show out here come the fall or the spring and continue that. So.
Well, I had him out here on Sunday or Monday, and I was showing him the field and telling him all the stuff we could be doing. So we're planting that seed.
Good. We'll take one more break. When we come back, it's the offense against the defense in trivia time to close out the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. One more break. We'll be right back here from Camp Briteside.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Briteside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
Back here at Camp Briteside, we're going to test this one real quick. Make sure, that one works. All right, we'll turn this one down just a little bit. All right, we have defense on this side. We'll go with defense first. So y'all introduce yourself so they know and they can recognize you on Friday as well. Give your number, a little bit about you, your name, number, good.
Seth Warren, linebacker, number 9.
Jaheim Dow, DB, number 5.
Chance Kelly, linebacker, number 6.
Davin Sedgwick, receiver, number 2.
Joe Stripmatter, quarterback, number 4.
Jack Covan, O-line, number 66.
So we're going to, first week, we usually have topics. This week it's going to be whoever wins this quick draw, made-up trivia questions to be able to pick the first topic that we'll go with next week. And so random questions are going to be asked. It could be about any sport, any subject, anything. Kelly, you ready? You want to do one? Go ahead. Last week, Georgetown beat Victoria East 54-14. Who scored the first offensive touchdown?
Xavier Warren.
All right, offense, 1-0. I told you they're going to be quick and easy.
All right, we're gonna stick with football, but college football. College football. It's gonna be a simple question. How many Heisman trophies have Texas A&M won?
1.
Name him.
Johnny Football.
All right.
1-1. All right. Eastview lost in their first game of the season to the Stony Point Tigers. What was the final score?
22-28.
That's correct. 2-1. Offense leads it.
All right. We're going to go NFL. This one may be a little bit tough, but there is a Georgetown connection. So, who was the first draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys?
Is it Bob Lilly?
It is Bob Lilly,
Wow, very impressive.
who up until recently lived in Sun City. He's moved back to Fort Worth now, but one of my all-time favorite Cowboys.
So 2-2. So the next one to win gets to pick the topic that we'll ask for next week. Jimmy, you got a question? You have a trivia question for him? Come on. Somehow we'll get him up here. I just had to figure that out. It was almost Ms. Lloyd. I was going to. Trivia question. Anything sports related.
Sports related. All right. Let's see. Okay. Who won the Heisman Trophy last year?
Jaden Daniels.
That's correct. The defense wins it 3-2. All right. What topic? And you have to give a sport and a classification, or you can change it. Whatever you want.
NBA.
NBA basketball would be the topic of week 2 back here at Camp Briteside. Now, real quick, that'll make it easy because Jimmy's still here. We'll get him back up here, and we'll close it out with the Booster Club Minute. Get an update from the Georgetown Booster Club, Football Booster Club.
Big Bob Lilly, my guy.
So now the president of the Georgetown Eagle Booster Club, Jimmy Warren, joins us. Jimmy, first week successful from the tailgating to the parents' night. The inflatable worked. And now on to week 2. Talk about the state of the Booster Club. Some good things happened, man. I tell you what, none bigger than the Meet the Eagles.
Yeah. So yeah, Meet the Eagles was great. We got a lot of volunteers again, like we did last year. Same with this year. A lot of parents helping out everywhere, all aspects. So it's good. It's good to have a good team together to support these boys, support the football program. We're having a good time.
Did you have a head count?
Head count? I think we had it was mid-eights, somewhere around there, 850.
Like
yeah. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, gets bigger every year.
Oh, yeah.
And a great night there at the high school, and a great job by the committee. I know
Jeremy McDougal.
The McDougals did a lot on that. The barbecue and Rachel with the
Meet the Eagles, all that. Yeah.
It was awesome. So great job by those that.
Rachel's glad it's over.
Oh man, I don't know if between the two of them they slept that night at all. They couldn't get any sleep.
This week we always do a tailgate on the road up in Belton. What's that look like this week so people can join in?
This week's going to be at Commonwealth. So Commonwealth in Belton. I think the address says Temple, but it's minutes from the stadium.
Awesome.
Commonwealth, that is, oh, man, who's the photographer last year?
Oh, the Bearded Wonder.
The Bearded Wonder, that's right. He owns that restaurant, the Commonwealth.
So wow. The Bearded Wonder's new restaurant.
Bearded Wonder, he knows we're coming, so we'll be there.
What time do people start showing up and turning it blue?
He starts showing up about 4:30. We'll eat about 5. So anybody can come in when they want. Everybody's welcome. Come in, wear blue. Be loud.
Wait, is this white out? Are the cheerleaders doing white out?
Oh, we're white.
Yeah, we're white. And
we're
blue.
white.
And blue.
And blue. That's fine.
So
I have my blue dudes on.
Just put a G on it.
The theme this week over at Belton on Friday night will be white out for Georgetown that the cheerleaders have led. So wear your white gear with the blue logo, but turn that place blue at the Commonwealth on Friday. Then we turn back. We come back to home on the 13th of September to take on Copper's Cove, and we do the home tailgating. What does that look like, and how do you get people involved in that?
Tailgate, we're going to start. We'll serve around. We'll start eating at 5 o'clock at the tailgate, right at Birkelbach Field, and then everybody come. Everybody's welcome there as well. Don't know what's on the menu yet. Might be South Star Bank. So we've got a lot of sponsors. South Star Bank. Yep, I've got a thumbs up from Jeremy McDougal. South Star Bank next week. They'll come have burgers. It's going to be great.
Hey, the run-through looked good. Sorry, I just jumped into my brain. Squirrel. Run-through looked great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. We had horn issues. We had other little problems, but, it's week 1, right?
Yeah.
So,
I know.
And we handled adversity. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, run-through was good. It was great. We had a little moving parts with the parent night always. We got to take the tunnel and move it up. So we took care of that. We got a great field crew. Carl's heading that up. So
Monday nights in the field house at 6 p.m. The Booster Club has a meeting every week.
Yep.
Starting especially next week. Last night it was on a Tuesday because of the Labor Day. But come out. Coach Griffin does a good job, and the other coaches on updating how the freshman and JV teams did, and then highlights of the varsity game, and talks about that before the quick meeting. Usually under an hour, and everyone's out of there. So come be a part of it on Monday nights there at the Fieldhouse in the large classroom and get involved, because Jimmy's last year is this year is what he's saying. We're not going to be able to get him back.
Nope. This is it. I may come to these. I will come to the tailgates. I'll be here.
You'd miss us if you did.
I would. Especially you, Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for joining us here at Camp Briteside. Thanks to Cody Hurt and the ownership that have welcomed us out here. Thank you so much for being a great host, and we love the location and can't wait. We'll be back again next week, Wednesday night, to talk about Belton High School and how the game went this Friday night against the Belton Tigers. Thanks for joining us tonight. For Chance Kelly, for Davin Sedgwick for joining us, and for Coach Griffin. And we will call it a night here from Camp Briteside. Friday night, we'll be live 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff at Belton High School. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night, everybody.